Hello guys and welcome to a new video on my channel. Today I wanna tell you the history of the ship company Eagle. All started in 1840. People wanted to pass the Lake Blizzard with their super diesels, but it wasn't possible. The super diesel wasn't good enough. A lot of drivers drowned. Sadly, thrusters weren't available for super diesel. So they tried and tried but couldn't pass the Lake Blizzard with super diesel. In the year 1849, three people thought, let's buy a ship and create a new ship company, the ship company Eagle. The project was very expensive and the people bought only one single boat. And this was this tiny shit. Look at this. So people try to pass the Lake Blizzard now with their super diesel on those tiny boats. Yes, it is maybe possible, but it's very, very hard. People gave up and drowned. This tiny boat just wasn't possible. Luckily, in the year 1860, a new vehicle was built, the hill climber. It was tiny, so people thought, let's try to pass the Lake Blizzard on a hill climber. It wasn't a good option to use hill climber. It still wasn't good for the boats. Many young drivers drowned. People tried and tried, but they couldn't pass the lake. A lot of people and drivers died. So the company collected a lot of money, and in 1875 the company bought 5 new ships. After buying the new ships, no one wanted to pass the Lake Blizzard. All people still thought that it would be too dangerous. And in the year 1879, one player tried it. This player was Jake B. Of course, he died. Some people also tried it with super diesel. But super diesel was just too big for these tiny ships. But more people tried to pass the lake now. Of course, some people also died dumb when their heads touched the boat. People tried and tried, but it seems to be impossible. Over the years, the ship company Eagle bought more and more boats, so at the end of the year 1900, it were 12 boats. So people tried again to pass the Lake Blizzard. It still wasn't very easy. So people tried it with super diesel because there were a lot of boats. At first they tried to jump over a lot of boats. They could finally see the end of the lake, but it was still impossible to pass the lake. So people tried and tried to jump over the first few ships and then try to swim. But it wasn't possible. Even people tried it with hill climber. In the year 1918, some bus players tried to pass this lake with their buses. But it also wasn't possible with buses. It wasn't possible. People were close to pass the sea, but no one could pass it. In the year 1920, a big downfall happened to the ship company Eagle. The ship company had almost no money, so they lost some boats. And during the World Wars, also some boats got deleted. So at the end of the World War II, only 3 boats still was in the ship company Eagle. And people tried it again with their buses. It still wasn't possible. In the year 1960, 3 new ships were bought. Now people tried again with the hill climbers. It still wasn't very good possible. In the year 1973, the scooters were invented, so people tried to pass the Lake Blizzard with their scooters. It was very hard and still impossible. People tried and tried. But they couldn't pass the Lake Blizzard. In the year 1980, the snowmobile was released. Snowmobile could swim on the water, but it was very expensive, so not everybody could own a snowmobile. And it wasn't good at swimming. And also it consumed a lot of fuel. Also, snowmobiles were very expensive at that time, so not everybody could own a snowmobile. People were very close to the end of Lake Blizzard. People tried and tried. Also this guy. This was Jake C. Jake C was the first person ever to be able to pass the Lake Blizzard with a vehicle. In the year 1990, the ship company Eagle sold all those tiny boats. And you may be wondering why they did this. They bought after that big, very big ships. 2 pieces, but 2 pieces were too expensive, so they also needed to sold one of those big ships. But after that, the ship company Eagle tried to pass the lake, but the ships were too heavy. Because the new big ships were too heavy, the company just sold them. But they became only some of the tiny ships back. Only 3 pieces. Sadly, the production of snowmobiles was very expensive, so the developers of snowmobile needed to make new snowmobiles. Those snowmobiles were very bad because the tunes needed to be reduced. People couldn't pass the lake anymore now. But people tried and tried. Actually, also JC. You remember JC? Yes, he was the first person ever who tried to pass the lake. At first he watched to the other snowmobile drivers, and after that, Jake C tried it. So you see now Jake C. Sadly, Jake C drowned. People tried and tried and tried. But it was almost impossible to pass the Lake Blizzard right now. But finally Jake D did it. Sadly, he ran out of fuel at the other side of Lake Blizzard, but he passed it with this shit snowmobile. In the year 2018, the ship company Eagle bought new boats. They were bigger, but not as big as the other big ones. These ships weren't too heavy, so they could swim. People tried at first to pass the lake on those boats with the new ships. And after that, people had also a bit of fuel with the snowmobiles. But they also tried it with the super diesels, because at first people wanted to pass the Lake Blizzard with their super diesels. And finally it was possible. But still, some people died. It was hard to control the boats. So still everybody tried to pass the lake at first with the super diesel. Some people thought that they were already at the end of Lake Blizzard, but they drowned. And also Jake D tried it. This is now Jake D. He saw the end of Lake Blizzard. And the first ship ever arrived at the end of Lake Blizzard. Jake D tried to get on land, but it wasn't easy. It was still too hard. By the way, hill climber players also tried it. Hill climber players wanted to be before Super Diesel on the other side of the lake. But still, a lot of people died. Of course, also the scooter players tried it. But they also died. And also bus players tried it. The bus players got very close to the end of Lake Blizzard, but they struggled at the end with the lake. So they thought about a new strat. Let's remove the roof and hope that the bus gets broken at the end of Lake Blizzard so that the bus can pass it. Of course, it was very hard to control the boat. And a lot of people still drowned. And then the Super Diesel players also tried it. But some players just were too fast for the boats. The second boat arrived at the end of Lake Blizzard. And this time the pass of Super Diesel was very close. And now it's 2024 and still only some snowmobile players managed to pass the Lake Blizzard on the ships. So it's a very dangerous lake and don't try to pass it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next video, bye. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video.